Hey everyone, if you've been looking for Needohs like I have been, I just squeeze these. You can kind of watch them popping back into shape. Someone told me that I could find them at a Hallmark store. So living in Metro Atlanta like we do, I went to numerous Hallmark stores, went inside, called some, you name it, looking for Needohs. That's Needohs, in case you haven't heard of this craze. These things feel awesome in your hand. When you like poke them or whatever, they go back into shape. They're nice, they're firm, they're not too hard like a stress ball. They're softer, squishier, kind of like a thicker Play-Doh, and it just feels so good in your hands. Well, Hallmark didn't have them, but what they did have was a knockoff. Please do not stop looking at the video now. This is the most important part, I promise you, like ever. So I'm looking at the box here, and I'm noticing that on all four sides of the box, there's this one warning. Not for children. It's a small part, not for children under 3 years old. Says it on side 2, says it on side 3, says it on side 4, and more importantly, it says it again on the bottom. But I want to show you this. On the bottom, the most important thing that you can read, which isn't listed until you look at the bottom, is that last sentence there. Warning, cancer risk from lead exposure. Read that again. Read it 3 times. Warning, cancer risk from lead exposure. Cancer risk from lead exposure. Cancer risk from lead exposure. That makes me so mad that these were shipped in. It doesn't say there could be a cancer risk. There's a potential cancer risk. It says that there is a cancer risk. It doesn't say the word there is, but cancer risk from lead exposure. People, that doesn't mean that there might be. And let me tell you something else about these little boogers. Even though they're fun to play with, they smell. There is an odor when you take these out of the box. There is an odor when you put your finger in that. You smell your finger when you squeeze it in your hands. When you just like squeeze and then you smell your hand. There's an odor that's on your hand. There's an odor in the room just from taking them out of the box. I might be wrong. I'm not a scientist. And I'm not a mathematician. But these smell weird. Reading on the bottom where it says that there is a warning for lead, please think about this. Your hands have large pores. The reason your hands sweat, everyone's hands sweat sometimes a lot. Some people have profuse. But with the sweating that you get in your hands, you're going to have large pores. Think about any lead that could be on the outside of these things. Inside, outside, whatever. Whatever's making your hands smell terrible when you finish playing with them. When they come out of the box, it smells bad. That can be getting into the pores of your hand. Kind of like this right here is as you can see, it's one of our little things we put on the table to protect the wood from hot things. This placemat. This placemat has, like, let me hold it up to the light. You see little holes in there where you see sunlight on the other side. Well, your hand is the same way. Your hand has pores. So when you are playing with these things, because you cannot find the real Needoh out there, you're putting yourself at risk. Now, I'm not promoting Needoh simply because I have not read about Needohs yet. What I have looked up, well, I take that back. What I have looked up, it says that Needohs are not made out of lead. This is, and it's just such a concern that the only thing that this business is telling us is that it has small parts, not intended for children under 3 years old. That lead could get you if you were 95. You don't have to be 3, you could be 95. They have lead. Unfortunately, I bought one for myself. The other one I bought for my oldest daughter. The reason I even got into these was because my oldest daughter said, "Mom, these things really help me with my stress. I enjoy squeezing it while I'm at work. I love squeezing this thing in my hand, when I have a minute. It just helps me to, refocus and regroup and relax a little bit." And by the way, she does have a stressful job. So I'm doing what any good mother would do, trying to, she's busy. She has a career, trying to help find her one of these Needohs. And honestly, they had one of these on display. I took it out. I felt it. And I'm like, well, it feels every bit like she described a Needoh feeling. So I bought 2 of them. I'm like, well, shoot, I'm going to get me one and her one. And I was actually this weekend going to take both and say, hey, I've got 2. Which one do you want? I'll take the other one. This one is adorable as it has little blue snowflake, little white and blue snowflakes in there. And this one is just cute because it's just like a pink gemstone. So I'm like, I'm good either way. That is until I'm like, what is that odor? What is in here? What's it coming from? And I found the lead warning again on the bottom. Now, if you want to keep listening to the video, I'm going to tell you something else. I also went into the store. I'll give you a little different view to look at. That's the backyard. Then I went into the store called Five Below because I heard Five Below has these things called Needohs. So when I went in Five Below, I found all kinds of, I would say, knockoffs or new squeezy type toys that look like a lot of fun for kids. And of course, they have that little thing on there, not intended for small children, keep out of the mouth. But guess what I noticed at Five Below? I didn't see anything that said lead. Okay? I noticed and noted, took full note that they were made in China. But you know what? Most of them had a warning on them to wash your hands after playing with them. Now, why would any toy need to have a warning to wash your hands after playing with it? That just rings off all kinds of bells, So could those contain lead? I don't know. But if you are indeed searching for these things like I have been searching for them, do yourself a favor. Especially who's going to be playing with a favor. Look up on the internet and see what it says about Needohs. I looked it up. All I could find is what I read on Google was that they don't contain lead. And that's the Needoh brand. I haven't found one yet to let you know, but I am just making a strong warning. I will say Hallmark is awesome. I haven't been in there in years, and it took looking for Needohs or fake ones to get me into the Hallmark store. They have so many cool things. It's way cooler than it used to be. A couple that I went to, they even had candy in there for sale. Like good stuff. I don't know, it's expensive stuff. But yeah, they have all kinds of things. They have jewelry, tons of stuff. And they had these. I was so happy. And according to the store where